Hey guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I want to thank everyone who's been watching the journey so far on the podcast, the Do It Anyway podcast. But I want to come to you this 2025 and start adding a bit more content to the channel. A lot of it's going to be a lot of my training, some of my dietary things. So I want to start putting more content out, like I said, for 2025 and take you along on this journey. This year is going to be a very, very special journey because I'm embarking on some challenges that I have going on, and I want to make sure that I can physically get myself to an IronMan race later this year. And so we're going to name this series the Relentless series. So this is going to be episode 2 of the Relentless series. So stay tuned, follow along. And today we're going to do shoulders. So let's go. So before I start into my shoulder workout, I like to do a really good warm up. So I'm gonna go grab a pair of dumbbells, come back over here and show you what the warm up is. I don't go above 7.5, 10 pounds on these, but I'm gonna go through just some laterals, front raises, and shoulder press, just to kind of get the blood into the joint. The movement's controlled, nothing fancy. Really squeezing the muscle. All without a break. Should be burning by now. Good, all right. Some external rotations. On my traps up. And we're warm. I start with some Smith machine shoulder presses. I have a different way I like to work shoulders sometimes. Sometimes I like to start with the pressing. Sometimes I like to end with the pressing. I've already done shoulders one time this week, so I'm gonna do it in reverse. Today I'm gonna start with presses. I'm gonna use Smith machine. When I'm using the Smith machine, I personally do not like to be 90 degrees. It's too much pressure on my shoulder joint. I don't feel good doing it, so I always have a slight decline to the seat. All right, this is all you need to go. You don't need to come down here when you're pressing. Right here is all you need to go. So I know I'm in a good spot right here. All right, let's add some weight and get it. Gotta put the strong granny belt on for my grandbabies. sometimes between sets, I like to keep warming my shoulders up. Make sure you're taking long enough rest periods too. When I'm training, I'm very intentional about what I'm doing. I think sometimes people rush through the movement sometimes. They're just moving weight. Sometimes they're talking or just not really engaged with what they're doing. So take a long enough rest period, but don't take too long. Don't party out with it. If you're in a hypertrophy phase where you're trying to put on lean muscle tissue, especially, the rest periods are critical because you should be lifting quite a bit of load with low to moderate amount of rep range, and you want good enough recovery so you can start again and produce that same amount of output. So I'm doing about 90 seconds roughly. So here we go. Adding those laterals in, even though they're just 5-pound plates, light me up. If you're gonna do those, key thing is to really focus on keeping the body quiet and really isolating the delt, the side delt, so you can really push blood into it. Like, if you nail that, phenomenal pumps, and you won't have to use as much weight when you do get to laterals, because you should theoretically be fried. Again. Again. Right. Woo. One more. Let's go. Oh, right. Woo. That's how you do a back off set. All right, got a really good pump. Let's see what's free. We're gonna go over to cables. All right, so like I said, this is my second shoulder day for the week. Typically, I'll use dumbbells for this, and actually I still will use dumbbells for this, but I'm gonna do some front raises with the cable machine. I just love the constant tension, and this tool right here is really great for a lot of things. If you have it in your gym, use it. If you don't, get one. They're really inexpensive on Amazon, but you can put your hands through these slots, and I'll show you here how I set it up, but I love this tool. Now your shoulders are pretty tired. They should be anyway, should be pretty smashed. So pick your weight accordingly because you don't need a ton here. The technique is what really matters. I like to put my hands into the lowest portion of the holes, and I keep my hands open. As you get tired, you tend to close them, but that's so I don't involve any of my forearm. I want to keep it all in my front delt. I also lean forward just a little bit. Pull it out, get the tension. So again, I'm leaving about here, I leave about 3 reps in reserve because I really want to get some good, clean sets in. So I'll leave 3 in reserve and then I'll just resume. I'm going to do about 2-3 more sets of those. That's 14 is it. Woo. On set 3 and the next set 4, I like to slow the movement down a little bit. They're already burnt. I'm feeling them. I feel a good pump. So I like to slow it down because when you slow it down, you can even burn up more muscle fibers, more time under tension. Back to the cable. I like to use the cable because when you have a dumbbell, once you come down, the resistance is broken. If you use the cable and you keep the tension pulled out, it's under constant tension, your arms, the entire movement. So I make sure that I use this cable mechanism to keep the constant tension on. Much better. If you are struggling with growing your shoulders or even your biceps, come to the cables because you can keep that resistance on the entire time. So you can get it at the top and the bottom of the movements. So that's why I like to use the cables, sometimes over dumbbells, or it depends on what my mind just wants to do that day too. So then there's that. We've got 1 more set and then we're moving on. Done. Whew, good set. We're gonna head over and do some side laterals. I'm gonna do them with a dumbbell. I'm gonna do some single arm lateral raises. Let's hit it. All right, nothing more than 22.5. Not necessary to go heavy. Shoulders are toasted. It's a small muscle, guys. I think more people get shoulder injuries because they're just doing too much weight and you don't really need that much. So something manageable is all you need. All right, here we go. I'm gonna throw some rear delts in here since no one's on the cables that I love to use. Again, constant tension. My palms are gonna be facing the ground. I'm gonna pull back and I'm gonna keep these and row very high. The weight's not heavy here. Your rear delts are a tiny muscle. You can tear them very easy. So when I get to set up, I'm rolling my shoulders back to stay in position and I'm rowing high. Hardest thing on those are going to be is trying to keep the traps down and back instead of letting them rise up when you're doing the lateral. So try to push them down, else you're going to get a lot of trap in there too. And don't be like me. My traps are big from not training, but improper pulling and rowing in my beginning stage. Coming to the gym to get your workout in, don't touch your phone. You'll have so much of a better workout. Set it and forget it. Set the music, forget about it. Maybe shuffle through the songs on your earbuds. Leave your phone down because you're gonna see a notification, your Instagram, all the good stuff. Just come in here and knock it out. I'm telling you, you will have such a much better workout. Like, the pump right now is so real. I love it. All right, so we're gonna move on to some upright rows. I think I'm gonna go back to the cable for these and some pull-ups, maybe a few push-ups. So let's get to it. All right, going back to my trusty tool for upright rows. I have a heart condition, so before I do pull-ups, I have to wait for my heart rate to come all the way down before I jump up there. about pull-ups. It is an amazing staple move. If you have to use the assisted, use the assisted. Preferably one like this. You can put your feet so you're standing straight up. The one with your knees bent, that one's trash because you need a lot of core to pull yourself up, but add them in. Don't be afraid. Ladies, add them in. You'll be amazing how much better your shoulders look, your triceps look, your biceps, and your back. So do them right along with push-ups. Phenomenal, phenomenal movement to add into your routine, assisted or not. Or if you're learning, use a band also. Get a big band and just tie it around the center beam, long enough for you to put your foot in it, and it'll assist you on the way up. I can't stress to you enough how much of a empowering movement it is. I think for both women and men, honestly. There's a lot of men who can't do any pull-ups too, so I encourage everyone. My motto is, you need to be able to save your own ass. If you can't, there's a problem. So what good is coming to the gym, all this training, and then if you needed to save yourself and pull yourself out of something, you couldn't. So that's my rant on why you should do pull-ups. Done. And that is how we do shoulders. So that's at least one way that I do shoulders. I can't wait to show you guys my other shoulder day, some different movements that I do in that day, but I'm thankful to have you guys on this journey. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and continue watching for the rest of the series, the Relentless series. So much content coming for you guys. Got my man, Big A, behind the camera, doing all my videography, so stay tuned for some great content. With that, I'm out, guys. Peace.